Hi, welcome. My name is Kyle Kinsey. My business is Fusion in Glass. I make fused glass art and jewelry. I've been at Pike Place Market for almost 18 years. I use a lot of dichroic glass like that, and I can show you clear. And then the colors will change with different backgrounds. It's cool stuff. It's got a thin coating of quartz and metal oxides. Been vaporized, condensed on the glass. It'll transmit and reflect light at different frequencies, so you get all the cool effects. And yeah, welcome to check out some of my work. Rings, small pendants, earrings, block pendants, big pendants, medium pendants. Ooh, the post earrings are always so popular. And you can find my work at Pike Place Market just about every day that it's open, or on my website, www.fusioninglass.com. And my Instagram, Fusion in Glass, has some nice inside pics of what's going on. So I learned to work with glass from my grandmother, starting when I was real little. She and we tended to make big plates. This is with window glass, crushed glass, paints, enamels, all slumped into a mold made to be on the wall. Here's another one. I like this one a lot. These are heirlooms at this point. I'm glad to have them still. So fused glass is kiln-worked glass. A lot of times people think of furnace glass and running around with molten glass on the end of a stick for glass art, but I'm working with sheets of glass. You know, I have a lot of, here's some of the raw dichro, a lot of colors, textures. It's my palette. I have a lot of, I have quite an array to choose from. And then I fuse it into, like, this is a larger mosaic piece that'll get cut down into whatever I want it to be. And I do the work. I'm cutting and composing the pieces, putting them on a shelf, and then these are the kilns. This is where the heat happens. This is where all the different pieces fuse into the one piece, or on some of the pieces I'll give it a slump. There's a lot of ways to manipulate the glass in the kilns. The biggest one, whoa. And these fire around 1500 degrees for a full fuse, and then can do different temperatures for different processes. Big, medium, this is clammy, kiln I use the most. Little Barney, big one's Zeus. So for the film today, I made these yesterday. This is the after shot that we're showing before, and I'm gonna show you how I put together some classic large pendants like this. All right, so I start with sheets of glass. I cut them into squares, and each of these is like a little canvas that I'm going to make a composition on. I tend to make a batch of pieces at once, so it's kind of a fun puzzle where I'm composing a whole bunch of different pieces at once. Makes my brain happy to do it. Let's see. I'll start with just a little bit of tacky glue to hold the pieces on while I'm putting it together. And then I go through and I start laying out some compositions. I use these nippers. Ooh, had a little piece of glass in my finger. That's normal, I'm used to it. And I go through, I lay out kind of phase one of the composition is to use opaques. That makes the outline of things happen. And once I have those elements of the composition in, I'll go through and fill in with the translucents. And I I have some go-to compositions that I know fit well together, but I'm always using different colors, and each piece comes out really its own little chunk of magic.
What tools are you using?
I am using this two-wheeled glass mosaic nipper. It's just a nice way to get little pieces off the chunk of glass. And I find that, I've been doing this long enough. I get pretty good accuracy. I get some cool swoopy, almost brush-like movement with the pieces. So, yeah. I used to use the scoring and snapping technique, but the nippers make it go quicker for me. Yeah, most of my compositions, like I think mainly I just try and make things as pretty as I can. But if you asked me, I'd say most of them kind of elicit growing or flowing motifs to me. Yeah.
What colors do you gravitate towards?
I try for the market. I try for my line to have a nice balanced range of colors, but I got the aqua here. I kind of like the cool, watery, airy colors. I think they're nice. Yeah. I don't know. What colors do you like?
Pinks and purples.
Yeah, the lavender I do is a really nice one too. What's next? Always want to pick pretty colors. Let's see, normally I'd have on some eye protection and generally a mask too when I'm doing this, but for the video, we want to keep it pretty. Slightly bigger glass nippers works better for fine cuts on some slightly thicker glass. The dichro comes in a few different thicknesses. Yeah, and normally when I'm doing these pieces, I'm working on a little bit bigger tray, and it's kind of a couple day affair to get them all together, and it's just kind of sink into it and get in the zone. It's a relatively meditative way to spend time. Usually have some music on and just get into it. Try and make pretty stuff. So at this point, I have the opaque base of every composition in, and then I go in and kind of fill in the blanks with the translucent parts. And the translucent parts are fun. It's where the light can go through the dichroic glass that you really get that color changing effect that I showed you earlier. I have seen at the market over the years, I've seen so many customers, they're like, oh, those are pretty. And then I show them the color change and their eyes just bug out, and then they buy stuff. It's great. It's great for everybody. All right. Yeah, it is cool during the COVID that I've had time to work on new projects, but it feels real comfortable to be doing the good old big pendants. It is, it's a time-consuming process. It's, mentally exercising in ways, but it's just really, it's pretty fun too. It's a rather engaging thing that I figured out how to do. I'll kind of do So for this phase, I kind of do a pass with one color and see where that color is going to fit in nicely. And then when I feel like I've got enough of that color, I'll switch to the next color I want to do.
This is very much like your painting.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of a painting process. I feel like that too. Just getting swoops of glass rather than brush strokes. Yeah. And then I snip them off, and some of them come out just right. Some I snip a little bit more off. The apron is generally a pretty important part of my tool setup. It gives my lap a catch area, so when I snip them, they don't go on the floor. Once I'm all ensconced in the throne, I don't like to have to get up if I don't need to. So, yeah, I never figured this was the most exciting thing to watch, but it's pretty fun to do. Maybe it's pretty neat to watch. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Here, we do a happy little snip. Well, happy little snip right over here. Boom. Oh, how about that? You're coming together, aren't you? Look nice, don't you? Okay. Ooh, yeah, how about some of that little clear teal color there? Cool and the warm going together. I think that'll be nice. We just see where it fits. It's kind of just a follow your heart. You just follow the vision. And I guess somehow I have a little flowing vision, and I put these pieces together, and people like them, and I'm grateful for that. You know, it's not a wildly precise process. There's flow that's involved, but then things really do kind of come out how I like them to. Especially at this point. I've done this a lot. We're getting there. We're getting there. So how have y'all been? Having a good day? I hope so. Yeah. Oh yeah, just a few more pieces to go. What do we want there? Oh yeah, nice rainbow piece. how about that? We got the compositions together. Now, little silver findings. Put that in and squeeze them under so that we have a place to put a cord or a chain. It's at this point where I have to lift up the middle piece and fit it under and squish it in that I'm grateful for just that little bit of tacky glue I used, so everything doesn't just go scattering. I still kind of hold all the loose pieces with my other fingers if I can. Squish that in there, wiggle it. Oops. Gets a little finicky sometimes. A little bit of balance. Okie doke.
Adding that silver piece makes it look like jewelry.
Yeah, it turns it into jewelry. But it's actually, I'm excited about with the jewelry, the silversmithing I'm doing. This is what I've always used to turn pieces into jewelry, but it's been fun messing with the bezel setting and different ways of putting stuff together. New horizons. Last one. Cool. Now I get some clear squares and cap them off. Where did I put those? Here they are. Actually, I usually do this part in the kiln, so I don't have to, here, I'll just show you here, because we're already in the kiln. I usually do this part in the kiln so that they don't slide off when I'm walking over there with the tray.
And what does the squares do?
It gives a clear cap to it. It creates some depth, so the sparkle, it like releases the sparkle in the dichro. You get, without the clear cap, you get sort of like a beetle shell look, but with the clear cap you get the depth, and it kind of, the dichro breaks up and it really, yeah, it enhances the sparkle. I could show you a few different examples of that if I had them ready, but take my word for it. Yeah, I like the look of the clear cap. I used to do it dichro on top or clear on top, and I've really just sort of transition to almost always having a clear cap, just because I think it looks nicer. Boom. Okay, these are ready to go in the kiln, and call it about 24 hours later. They come out like I showed you earlier. Cool. Hey, I'm Kyle. Thank you for watching. You can find my work at Pike Place Market or on my website, fusioninglass.com. Yeah, thanks. Enjoy.